What up, boxing fan? Welcome to the Spence versus Ugas video. Tony Buck speaking. Welcome to the channel, my channel, Tema Boxeo. And like I said, this video is about Spence versus Ugas, the fight going down April 16th. And I'm gonna give my insight, my opinion, whatever you want to call it, my little breakdown on the fight. Come this month in a couple of days. April 16th, AT&T Stadium, Cowboy Stadium. In Texas. PBC, you know what I mean? PBC, Spence versus Ugas, two of the champs. Unified Spence, IBF, WBC versus Ugas, the WBA super champion, that's coming off of beating of biggest shockers in recent times. And he beat a legend. Ugas he beat Manny Pacquiao. A lot of people, including myself, thought Pac was gonna win, to go on and face the true Spence, but it didn't go down like that. Ugas ruined the plans, and he was already elevated super champion. Even though Manny tried to get it from him, but the WBA didn't accept it, So Ugas being with PBC and being a champ, they were gonna make that fight for Spence as well. So, to try to get all the belts together and being in the same network, being PBC, Showtime, and all that. Al Heyman fighters. How they all stick together and whatnot. But yeah, man, exciting fight, you could say. Because Spence comes with it. He comes to fight, and he comes to win. More importantly, since he has that elite boxing and elite just fighting overall, because he comes with the aggressiveness, and he comes with that style that to destroy, seek and destroy style. So unless he wants to box, but then you have Ugas, coming from the Cuban school, bronze medalist, bronze medalist, Olympic bronze medalist. And he wasn't a gold medalist, but at least he's still keeping up there with his skills as he is bronze medalist. You know what I mean? You Bronze medal is a good medal too, because you actually achieve something, and that just says everything about Ugas. And he's a welterweight, so so he's pretty good, fighter. So, and it was Beijing where Ugas got the bronze medal, the Beijing Olympics, so 2008. So it's been a while, but then again he defected Cuba and all that. So he moved to Vegas, to be close to high level competition and training partners. So as a lot of boxers do, they move to the fighting capital of the world, to get good sparring and all that good stuff. But yeah, man, it's like you have Ugas that's also like pretty elite at boxing, and he's most definitely gonna put up a good fight versus Spence. He has footwork, some power, and he's a boxer, so he's gonna use all his tools. He has a lot of tools, jabs, just jabs to everywhere to the body. How they do it, like to the body, to the chest, to the stomach. It's just he's an all around fighter for a reason, and he's a champ for a reason, you know. So uh, the only way he was gonna get a shot was beating everybody, you know, becoming mandatories, uh, getting number one spots, and that's what Ugas did. You know, he was regular WBA champ until he was elevated. Since Manny was super champion of the WBA, Manny had been out for 2 years since beating Thurman. I think it was around 2 years. The Manny was out. Uh, so he came back wanting to get his belt back, but the WBA said no. Like, you know, Ugas is our champ now. So Manny, you know, to try to get a belt and maybe the Errol Spence fight, he took it, and we all seen how that ended. You know, with the legend Pat getting kind of beat up by Ugas. You know, in a crazy fashion, because he got beat up. As I've been saying, he got beat up. He got punished, you know, by Ugas. Ugas was just the taller fighter. He had at 5'9", coming in at 5'9", you know, 69 uh, in arm reach. You know, he even though he's up there in age too, Ugas 35. You know, Pac was like 40 something. Um, Obviously, he was the fresher man, you know, but yeah, Ugas put that work on Pac, and you know, and retired him. Uh, and we have Ugas at 31 fights, 27 wins by KO, 12 and 4 losses. Um, Ugas has had L's throughout his professional career, but you know, he had some early on by some unknown guys. He had his first his 12th fight versus Johnny Garcia, split decision. Then he got a couple wins. He got 4 wins. And then his 17th fight, you know, he got another L to a split decision as his first L. He then lost another split decision to Emmanuel Robles in his 17th fight. His 18th fight, he lost as well to a boxer that, you know, some boxing fans know as name is Amir Imam. He lost a unanimous decision, and you know, Amir Imam was defeated, I think, the first time by Jose Ramirez. Um, so yeah, you know, Ugas has some losses by some known American fighters, you know, but it don't matter because, you know, Ugas then became, you know, even with all the problems he has had, you know, he as his um body defects, you know, as Ugas has, um he has come back and, you know, won at life, you know, because he got a couple more wins. He got 2, 4, 6, 8 wins after the Imam loss, until he didn't get his third loss until he faced Sean Porter in his 27th fight, another split decision that for the WBC, which a lot of people thought Ugas won, but they gave to Sean Porter. But you know, Sean Porter, as everybody knows, he is a rugged fighter, a awkward fighter, man. Just, you know, even for Spence, you know, he was a, a hard fight, but that's why Sean, you know, has been a champ like a couple times because he's just that good. But you know, even competitive fight, it could have gone either way. You know, Ugas could have took it, but they gave it to Sean Porter. So you know, it was a split decision for the WBC. And then, you know, for he didn't get another shot until 3 more fights after that. But before that, he fought the former lightweight champion Omar Figueroa Jr., you know, and if I'm not mistaken, I think he gave uh, Figueroa one of his first losses, because then he went lose again to Abel Ramos, um, but yeah, he gave Omar Figueroa Jr. His first L. But I mean, the thing is, Figueroa Jr. is really a lightweight. He went up to 140, but I think being on discipline, he Figueroa always had problems with weight, because he wasn't as disciplined even in 35. So that's why he's fighting at welterweight, which is not his weight class. His best was at 35, and he's fighting two divisions up of that. So, I seen that. I rewatched that fight because I didn't even know Ugas had fought Figueroa, because that's just how unknown Ugas was until he started. I have been seeing him in the PBC lining and all that, but I really didn't pay too much attention to him until he got that Manny fight. That's when I really paid attention to him, and then I seen he was a regular interim, a regular WBA champion. So then he got elevated, so that makes him a champion. That makes him a somebody. So okay, so it wasn't for no belt uh, versus the 28th fight of Ugas' career versus Omar Figueroa Jr. He was 24-4 still at the time, and he has not lost ever since the Sean Porter fight, because he's 29 29 fights with 29 with Mike Dallas Jr. that he got the dub. Then went to become 25-4 versus Mike Dallas Jr. Then he went go beat Abel Ramos by split decision. The one that beat Omar Figueroa Jr. won the vacant WBA regular welterweight title. He fought in Los Angeles, California, and then he went on to defend his Super WBA welterweight title in Las Vegas, Nevada, in the T-Mobile Arena on the 21st of August, year 21 versus Manny Pacquiao. And you know how that went, 27-4. And now he faces the unified champ, IBF and WBC champ Errol, the true Spence man, being 27-4. Will he go in 27 and become 28-4, or he become 27-5 while facing Errol? But either way, Errol is a real complicated boxing, man, because like I said, he is an aggressive boxer, you could say come forward fighter, counter puncher and all that. But he is the total package. He comes with everything. He if you move around Spence, he'll get you, because he has the speed, he has the physical, man. He's a gifted athlete. He's just a machine, bruh. That's why they call him the truth. He stands at 1 inch taller than Ugas, at being 5'10", at Ugas 5'9", 3 inches in arm reach at 72 inches, 3 years younger than Ugas, being 32 years old, Ugas being 35. You could say, they're both in their prime. Almost depending how long they go in their prime, but usually for like a welterweight, they can go all the way to 40, but the 30, 35 is usually like the top prime of their career. So uh, Earl's about right there. And he's a southpaw. Ugas being an orthodox fighter. But then again, I think he mentioned that southpaws or like tailor made for him. Um, I think Ugas was saying that, and then again, he beat Manny Pacquiao by unanimous decision. Manny being a southpaw, but it's just a lot of factors. Manny, was past prime already, like by years, and then smaller guy that should have been really been like a could have really been fighting at 35, 40, and all that, but by Ugas's reach and height, that's why um he gave Manny tough fight, and he ended up winning, unanimous decision. Uh so I don't know if you can say being southpaw is gonna be tricky for Ugas, since he got Manny out of the pretty easy while being a southpaw, but we know Earl is not Manny, even though Manny's a legend, but a past prime legend. Now we have the more youthful fighter in Errol Spence, and Errol Spence is not gonna go in there to get bullied. If he feels he's gonna be getting bullied, but either way, Earl Spence is gonna go in there and try to put it on Nugas. He's gonna go in there and and just get the dub by boxing him or knocking him out. That's just the type of fighter Spence is. And like I was wrong versus the Manny versus Ugas fight, but I don't think Ugas beats Spence. I just think Spence is more better, being the naturally, I don't know, I would just say more elite, since he's still undefeated, in everything, since he hasn't lost, no draws, no none of that, perfect record. And Nugas, even though he doesn't have a perfect record, he's a champion, all that, but like I said, he's been like beat by weaker opposition, someone that Earl Spence would not get beat by. So that's why I see Earl as being the superior everything, boxer. Even though Ugas comes from that Cuban uh, boxing, sometimes it don't transition well in the pros, because you've had so many Cubans that try to transition. Some, make it. Some don't have as much success in the pro ranks as they did in the amateur and the Olympics. So, you just see that with a lot of Cuban fighters. Like, and in the most recent defected Cuban, Robinzi Ramirez, the two-time um, Olympic gold medalist, the one that beat Shakur Stevenson for the last the last, I won't say the last Olympics, but won the Olympics in Rio. Um, that's where the Cuban Robinci won his second medal. But then he defected, came to Mexico, turned pro, and then came to the U.S. But he lost his first pro fight, which means they don't always transition well in the pro ranks. As Ugas has had L's too, but it's just the pro game is way different than the amateur that the Cubans and all, and like the Euros, like the Russians, all them are used to. But he still became champ. So that tells you everything about Ugas. He's real elite too, since he has that boxing. He's a durable guy. He's a tough guy. He comes with heart. He has some power, pop. So that's why he became champ. But now, facing the other champs, and you can say the deepest division, the welterweight division. Um, yeah, you're gonna rival foes that are as superior, as extremely talented as you, if not even more talented, because that's the deepest division in boxing. Like, so you are going to rival some of the best in the world. So, and you have two of the best. Now you have Spence versus Ugas, two champs, one being a unified champ and one being a just one belt champ. But fighting for the other two straps to unify a third belt. Whoever wins, either Spence or Ugas, it's gonna be an exciting fight. Either way, us boxing fans and a lot of the fans in Texas, are gonna be really cool way to have entertainment, because that's what they go for. That's what they pay tickets anywhere in the world. Obviously, in the U.S., a lot of boxers, are attraction, as Spence is an attraction in Texas or anywhere he goes. He's gonna be an attraction because he has the style that is not gonna put the audience to sleep. He's gonna go in there and give entertainment. What us fans want to see, and that's why he's celebrated. That's why Spence has a lot of fans, because he's one of those guys that want to put on a good show, and the best for his career, but still entertaining the fans while doing it. So yeah, I can't wait for that fight. I've been waiting forever. Ever since he beat Brook for the IBF title. I knew he was the truth. Really, when I seen that he went to the UK, to Sheffield, and beat Brook in his own backyard, that's when I knew Earl was the truth. Cause I've been following his career since I won't say before in the amateurs, but when he turned pro, I just seen he had a lot of hype, and he was knocking out everybody out, just hella talented, and just beating these guys with ease. So, I really started paying attention to him, and he had hype, and it was actually true. And ever since, I've been paying attention to his career. So when he beat Kell Brook, he went on to beat Kell Brook in the UK, and taking his belt from the UK, bringing it to Texas. Um, but when I started taking notice in him, like in like his 17th fight, when he TKO'd Phil Lo Greco, then like versus the South African Chris Van Herdine and stuff like that. And then like fighters versus Chris Algieri. Algieri got fights versus guys, the Manny Pacquiao's of the world. He also fought guys out there that were somewhat known. He got dubs over Ruslan Provodnikov. He lost to Manny Pacquiao and like Amir Khan and Spence and all that. But and Algieri's recent, like try to go at somebody that's coming with some hype. Conor Ben, he did fight him, but it didn't go well for him. He got KO'd in the fourth round. But Conor Ben is a up and comer. But like it's just guys that have what somewhat solid resume for sure. I think, what was he, the African, um I'm not sure what he was, the Leonard Bundu fighter. But yeah, I think he was African, uh or Italian. something like that. But he KO'd him in his 21st fight. Spence's 22nd fight, that's when he won the IBF welterweight um, title, and he has defended it uh, obviously a couple times ever since he won it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times, and then the WBC once, but and defending the IBF 5 times. And those to the names after Kell Brook, he just got elite names on his resume. As he got the dub over Lamont Peterson's 23rd fight. Then he went to go beat the mandatory Carlos Ocampo by KO first round. Mikey Garcia, and we all know how that ended. Unanimous decision, 25th win. He retained his IBF, third defense, fourth defense versus Sean Porter and then he was fighting for Sean Porter's WBC. He takes it from him, split decision versus the hard Porter. And then the fifth defense versus Danny Garcia, he retained his WBC and IBF. First defense versus WBC versus Danny, and fifth on his IBF. Having it ever since 2017, so some years, like 5 years, having been champ. And but yeah, it's gonna be a dope fight, having all the ingredients for it. Could be a fight of the year candidate, depending how it goes, if it's really that competitive. But we know both of these fighters, they both of them are coming to win. The 54 Miracles, 54 Milagros, Ugas versus the true Spence, man. Who will take it? We will see April 16th, but I gotta give the edge to Spence. I see I see Spence edging out like a majority, if not like split decision type, because Ugas is a tricky fighter either way, and he has heart. He's fighting for his people, for his Cubanos. Uh, he's always talking about that patria thing. I don't really know what it's about, but I know that his fellow Cubans are being oppressed and all that, by the governments and all that. But that's another topic. I won't get into that, but because I'm not versed in it. But he's like guys. They just like their lives, what Ugas fights for. And we all know what Errol, coming off his Ferrari accident, getting thrown out of the Ferrari, man, being extremely blessed, to be alive, and more than importantly to continue to fight. Because he could have had who knows if he would have had his seatbelt on, and if he would have made it from the crash. Because imagine a Ferrari drop top. Yeah, I don't know how that would have ended, but luckily he was thrown out and nothing happened to him. With God's will, thank God nothing happened to him, and him and his family are good. And he continues his career, because he could have, the worst could have happened, right? But thankfully it didn't. He's alive, and his career, he was out for a couple months, 10 months, a year. Either way, he didn't want a tune up. He came back, and even though Danny Garcia wasn't a champ, he came back to defend his belt. You know what I mean? The one he had just won the WBC green strap from Sean Porter, and obviously defending his IBF. But he could have lost a whole lot include in his life, but thankful thankfully he didn't, and now he's back on track. He came back from the accident after the year layoff, but imagine how his body was. He rested not even enough time, in my opinion. But even though he still came back and beat Danny Garcia's ass, that's crazy. That's how a fighter is truly elite when doing something like that. So props to Spence all the way, because he could have took the easy way and like just started with tune-ups and that. But he said, nah, like give me the killers in the division, and he went straight for Danny, and it was a hard fight, but he beat him. And now he's continuing to do what he said he was gonna do to become undisputed, and now facing the WBA super champion, either Ugas or Manny. But since Ugas has it, it's beating Manny and retaining it, since he was elevated before that Manny fight. So, like I said, Ugas was elevated super champion, beat Manny. Now, since he beat a legend, Manny, and retaining super WBA belt, now he gets to uh to fight Spence for his IBF and WBC and his WBA super belt. So, man, just fireworks on this fight. May the best man win, but I just think Spence is gonna pull it off, like with a majority decision, maybe even a KO or whatnot. But I could see a majority decision, split decision, or just a decision, because that's, I just believe Errol's skills are just that much more. But yeah, Raza, that's it for this video. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to Tema Boxeo. Help the channel grow even more. But like I said, I'm gonna be pumping out content. When I can, I have free time. But that's the ways you can help me out. Or if you want to donate, uh, uh, you can Venmo me. You can Venmo me at Alfredo Flores, lowercase ALFREDO /Flores, capital F/124. So you can just donate if you feel like you want to donate, so you can help out the channel. But yeah, man, I'll try to do more in Spanish as well. But meanwhile, we're just gonna be pumping out content, man. But like I said, comment, like, subscribe, donate, whatever you feel like doing, man. But to keep getting more content, make the channel grow. Till next time, man. Peace.